Greetings comic lovers and welcome back to Casually Comics, the channel where we chat all things comics, from reviews of comics new and old to history to anecdotes to really wherever our whims take us. Today, back to the sadness. Zombies, well, not zombies, techno-organic viruses. This issue in particular is gonna get pretty testy that they're not zombies. What were you even thinking? This is DCeased. I hope you're ready for the gloom of DC's zombieverse, because I sure am. I'm Sasha, and if you like horror comics, no matter what the time of year, hit that like button. You don't just need to read them on Halloween. You can have them all year round. All fear, all the time. Live the dream. DCeased. We're on issue 4, so if you missed the other vids, then of course check them out. I'll link you up. You can click the card or I'll have them down below. But the story so far, Cliff Notes edition. The not zombie apocalypse was started after Darkseid kidnapped Cyborg to try and create the anti-life equation, and instead created a horrible mutated form of it. Cyborg brought it back to Earth, where it started spreading through people's phones and screens and also blood. Many characters have died in extremely depressing ways. Everybody is having the worst time except for Harley Quinn. Batman's down for the count, Aquaman is spreading the virus through the ocean, and there is still low-key a plan in place to try and shut down the internet. But first, we need to meet them at their rallying point at the Daily Planet. Issue 4, go! Batman is on the cover again because the cover bait can't stop, won't stop. He's gone. It's over. It's done. The number of variant covers per issue has also dropped. The first one had about 19. This one only has a few, a smattering, which is understandable because as each issue is released, the number of people actually buying it drops. Even if it's popular, it's just the way of the world. People drop off, which is why some people are proposing now a complete collected edition first. Get as much money as you can, maximize it. But others feel this other method maximizes it. That's a discussion for another day. This issue in particular actually had some great variants, especially one of the Flash of Two Worlds, which we have also talked about. There's nothing like Barry Allen playing tennis with himself. Just look at it. Flash about to be devoured as two more Flashes, one the Reverse Flash, rush to definitely not save him. 10 out of 10. A well-drawn evil Flash is always worth it. On the more meh end of things, we have a Batman Who Laughs variant because he's so hot right now. Anyway, enough about the covers. Let's look inside. Let's get to the juice. We open with this comics and our favorite thing, melodramatic narration. When you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Captain Atom and Amanda Waller are at Cadmus Labs, and they have had the worst plan of all time. What better way to study these monsters, these potential zombies, than by having the Atom shrink down and investigate them from the inside? Now, if the Fantastic Voyage has taught me anything, is that if you can shrink down and go into a person, you 100% should shrink down and go into a person, but just don't expect it to go well. When you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. It's even more dramatic because they said it twice on the same page. We didn't have a nail, we had an undead apocalypse. What happened wasn't supposed to be possible. Captain Atom was supposed to be impervious. Why? I mean, I guess I can let it slide. He is living energy, so I can see maybe thinking why it wouldn't impact him, even though it was spreading through screens, but okay. But here's the thing, no one is really immune to the zombie apocalypse, especially the people who are supposed to be. In fact, if someone looks fine, they're probably a carrier. Trust no one. So the Atom got infected while inside that zombie. Shock of shocks, who would have known? It was completely unpredictable. But there's also one big important fact to look at, because when he's inside Captain Atom infecting him, he's not in a protective suit. So people turn pretty quickly. I mean, Batman took a while, but I mean, he's Batman. He forced himself to be able to give exposition before he died. So the Atom, did he have a suit on and he took the time to take it off, or was he never wearing one in the first place? If that's the case, well, firstly, Amanda Waller is really slipping. Secondly, if that's true, you did it to yourself. And that's why it really hurts. But in all seriousness, the Atom and then Captain Atom being turned, it's a pretty big blow. The Atom turned Captain Atom. Cute. Meanwhile, at the tower, the survivors are rallying. Superman is back with his mom and reveals he's been looking at the world in X-ray vision since this all went down, so he can look at screens and not be turned. Okay. They send out a radio broadcast because radio waves aren't evil. It's only the evil screens on your phone and television that you need to avoid. Lois calls out to all survivors, and we get to see a nice montage of who's still around. And that includes Lex. Take that, Bruce. Yes, they're calling everybody. Villains too. You need all the people in the not zombie apocalypse. Diana is at Themyscira, and Queen Mara shows up, and she also decides that she's gonna get on the action. Wonder Woman, that is. But that's because she hears it on the radio, because they have the radio propped up on a little pedestal in their Athenian Grecian garden. It's great. Superman and Green Lantern, formerly Black Canary, go out to look for survivors. And they come across Barry Allen, the Flash, and Wally West, Kid Flash, but this is Wallace West, Wally West 2. Let me explain. Wally West 2 is from the New 52 era, when Wally West 1, the original Wally West, was erased from existence. Cause he's one of the characters that Dan Didio hates, him and Nightwing. That is a tale. They brought back Wally 1 because of the fan outcry and because he'd been the Flash for 23 years, and so many people missed him and felt there had been no reason to erase him from existence. But then they couldn't erase the second Wally, because if they had, people on Twitter would have flipped every single table in existence. So he still has to exist in this kind of nebulous state. He's fine. He's one of those characters who suffers from a very confusing origin that didn't have to be that way. So his wonky origin, not his fault. And now they both exist. Two Wallys, Wally and Wallace. Good times. Meanwhile, Harley is fighting the birds of prey, but then Ivy shows up to save her, which means she followed her. The time scale here is slightly confusing if you take a minute to think about it, which I did, because I'm that person. So if Clark flew to Smallville, got his mom, brought her back, even if he did it all at super speed, how long has this fight been going on? Because we saw the beginning of this fight a couple of issues ago. I only noticed this because this whole little tiny subplot is atonal to the rest of the series. I know it's supposed to be a little oasis of goodness in the darkness, but to me at least, it's just dissonant. It caused me to notice the shifting time scale, and time scales in comics are always a mess. Everybody lives in some kind of weird pocket dimension. It's such a shift from how can we survive in this barren wasteland? There is nothing as we lose the people that we love to, whoa, Mr. J is dead. Did you know that Harley and Ivy are in a relationship and love each other? Which is nice, but also these two seem completely unfazed by the zombie apocalypse, which also makes this stand out because everybody else is being so affected and devastated, or at least horrified by it. If I was a villain, I'd still be horrified of the zombie apocalypse. Villain, anti-hero, whatever they're trying to do with them now, because they're not good, but they're not bad. But I think we're supposed to pretend that they're fine, that they never killed roomfuls of children. But oh no, Ivy didn't do that, Harley did that. That was pretty romantic. Crushing the undead is romantic. Ivy takes her hand and says the green will protect them. Okay, so Ivy's personality has been shifting of late because of the green, which is this metaphysical, big spiritual concept that's coming from Swamp Thing. And that's a really poor way to describe it because that's not entirely accurate, but it's a thing. And it's a way that they're trying to work to get Ivy away from her misanthropic, evil, eco-terrorist roots, despite the fact that actually in today's climate, her plots could be more relevant than ever depending upon how you wrote them, but that's okay, we have this instead. Anyway, people love Harley and Ivy, so they're getting a subplot. It doesn't matter if it feels completely different from everything else, and some people will just be so happy to see these two it'll fly. I'm not one of those people. I demand tonal consistency, and I am critical of all the things and all the people. Meanwhile, the Daily Planet is attacked by a zombified Giganta, and this fight is cool. We've got Banff Alfred flying into her with the Batwing. We've got Flashes punching at super speed. It's a great sequence, and then Diana shows up perfectly prepared to separate the head from the body, because at least one of them has seen a zombie movie. They probably watched it on a little tiny TV on one of the little pedestals next to the radio. But Clark stops her. Batman said they're infected. There could still be hope. She could still be alive. We can't just... Cyborg, Vic, what have you done? Alfred passes along the Bat costume to Damian and just decides to ramp the sadness up to 100 and rip your heart out. He said that you were worthy of it, that he was proud of you, and that he should have told you that every day. Stop it, Alfred. I'm just trying to live my life. Alfred's the real MVP. The Flashes get special contact lenses to make everything blurry so that they too cannot look at screens. And Cyborg lectures all of us about how they're not zombies. How dare you? They're not zombies, they're a blight, an extension of the anti-life equation. The blighted ones want to spread death, nothing more. And they will search for life. They can sense it. They will find it. They will end it. That sounds pretty zombie-like to me, but I'm not the superhero who decided that it was important to quibble about terms on a rooftop in the middle of the apocalypse. But enough about that. Captain Atom is gonna blow. Clark and Diana rush to get him away from the city, but they don't quite make it in time. And look at this panel, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's devastating, but gorgeous. The last nail was Metropolis, and the hammer came down. Ooh, suspense. This issue was fine. Oh, what? You want more? This series is maintaining itself consistently. The things that are good are still good, and the things that are flaws are still flaws. It's really even. So far, my favorite issue, I think, has been 3. I have so many questions about them shrinking down the Atom and his suit existing or not existing. Like, were the protections built into his superhero suit? Because if so, he still needs a second suit. You need the silly shot of his suit poking out of the other suit. It's a sci-fi rule. What were your thoughts on this issue? Do you remember the 90s when Captain Atom was really big for a bit? It was an interesting time, but what can I say? I like the Metal Men. Share all your thoughts down below, and please tell me what you're reading. I'm Sasha, and thanks so much for watching Casually Comics. Please do all of the YouTube things. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so that you never miss a vid. And I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.